Picture a fire, low and orange, somewhere on an open plain tens of thousands of years ago. The night presses in around it. You are one of maybe 30 people, and your faces glow in the same small circle of light. Then something happens. You take more than your share of the meat. A few eyes turn toward you. Nothing is said, but you feel it instantly. A hot rush up your neck, a heaviness in your chest, the sudden urge to look at the ground. That feeling is shame. And out here, on this plain, it just might save your life. Because tonight, that quiet wave of discomfort is teaching you something your survival depends on. It's telling you, do not become the one the group turns against. There's a reason that feeling burns so hot in your body. A reason it still ambushes you today in a quiet room when no one is even watching. And by the end of this, you'll understand why the most painful emotion you carry was never a flaw at all. Let's go back to that world. The world your brain was actually built for. For almost all of human history, you did not live alone, and you could not survive alone. There were no walls, no stored food that lasted through every winter, no police, no hospitals. There was the group, the band, 20, 30, maybe 50 people who hunted together, slept close together, raised children together, and faced the dark together. In that world, the most dangerous thing that could happen to you was not a predator, it was being cast out. Think about what exile actually meant. Alone on the plain, you could not hunt large animals by yourself. You could not stay awake all night, every night, watching for danger. You had no one to share warmth with, no one to warn you, no one to feed you if you were sick or injured. To be pushed out of the group was, in practical terms, a slow death sentence. So the rules of the group were not suggestions. They were life and death. Share the food. Pull your weight. Don't betray the people who sleep beside you. Don't take a mate who belongs to another. Don't be the one whose selfishness puts everyone at risk. And the group had a way of enforcing these rules long before there were laws written anywhere. They used something quieter and far more personal. They used your own mind against you. This is where shame was born. Your brain, over countless generations, became extraordinarily sensitive to one question. How do the others see me right now? Am I valued, or am I becoming a problem? Am I safe inside this circle, or am I drifting toward its edge? To answer that question, your nervous system built an alarm. Not an alarm for tigers or fire, but an alarm for social danger. When you broke a rule, when you were caught taking too much or doing too little, that alarm fired. Your face flushed, your heart sped up, your eyes dropped, your whole body folded inward, almost trying to disappear. This was not random. Every part of it had a purpose. Looking down and shrinking made you appear smaller, less threatening, like someone trying to make peace. The discomfort was so sharp that you'd do almost anything to make it stop, which usually meant correcting your behavior fast. And the memory of that feeling burned itself in, so you'd think twice before risking it again. In other words, shame was a teacher, a harsh one, but an effective one. It kept the group together by keeping each member in line, without anyone needing to chase you with a spear. The punishment was already running inside you. And here's the part that matters most. Your brain learned to treat the disapproval of others as if it were physical danger. Research suggests that social rejection and physical pain travel along overlapping pathways in the brain. To your nervous system, being shut out and being wounded feel disturbingly similar. That's not weakness. That's ancient wiring doing exactly what it was designed to do in a world where rejection really could kill you. Now here's the problem. That world is gone, but the wiring is not. You no longer live in a band of 30 people on an open plain. You live in a world of millions of strangers, screens, comments, and crowds. But the alarm system inside you still runs the old program. It still scans constantly for one thing. Am I about to be cast out? So watch how it shows up. You send a message to someone, and they don't reply for hours. Suddenly, your mind floods with stories. They're annoyed with you. You said something wrong. You're being quietly pushed away. Your stomach tightens over a delay that almost certainly means nothing. Your brain is reacting as if exile is coming, even though the worst case is simply that someone got busy. Or you make a small mistake at work, a tiny one, and that night, lying in bed, you replay it again and again, that hot wave washing over you in the dark. No one is judging you. The room is empty. But your ancient alarm doesn't know the room is empty. It only knows that being seen as a failure once meant being left behind. Or you walk into a crowded room and feel every eye must be on you, weighing you, finding you lacking. Your chest tightens. You want to leave. Your brain is treating a room of indifferent strangers as if it were the very tribe that holds your survival in its hands. Or you post something online and then check it obsessively. The likes, the comments, the silence. Each notification is a tiny vote on whether you still belong. Your nervous system treats a digital crowd of faceless people as if they were the band that decides whether you eat tonight. And then there's the heaviest one. The shame that doesn't even need an event. The quiet, background sense that something about you is simply wrong, unworthy, not enough. That's the old alarm humming, even with no trigger at all. A survival tool that has nothing left to do, firing into empty air. So what do you do with a brain like this? You start by understanding what you just understood. That shame is not proof that you are broken. It's proof that you descended from people who survived because they cared deeply and painfully about staying connected to others. The ones who didn't care got left behind. You carry the feelings of the ones who stayed. When that hot wave rises, try to name it for what it is. Not, I am bad, but my ancient alarm is firing. That small shift creates a gap between you and the feeling. In that gap, you can breathe. You can remind your body that no one is being exiled tonight. The plane is gone. The fire is gone. You are safe. It also helps to remember the difference in scale. Your brain was built for 30 faces. It was never meant to hold the judgment of millions or to treat a silent phone as a silent tribe. When you feel crushed by what strangers might think, you can gently tell yourself the truth. These are not your band. Most of them will never matter to your life at all. And when shame is trying to teach you something real, when you actually did hurt someone or fall short, you can let it do its old job briefly. Let it point you toward repair. Then let it go. It was meant to be a quick signal, not a lifelong sentence. Because here is what that fire on the plane knew that you sometimes forget. Shame was never your enemy. It was the price of belonging, the cost of being a creature that needs others to live. The burn you feel when you're afraid of being seen as less, that's the echo of every ancestor who survived because they refused to be cast out. It kept them inside the circle. It kept them alive, and it was passed down to you faithfully across thousands of years into a world that no longer needs it the way it once did. So the next time that old heat rises in your chest, you don't have to hate it. You can recognize it an ancient guardian still standing watch over a danger that has already passed. There are other guardians like it inside you, the fear that keeps you awake, the loneliness that aches even in a crowd. Each one a survival tool from a vanished world, still quietly running, still waiting to be understood. But that is for another fire on another night.